That was Bad Trick by Ray Wally Hubbard. Wow, what a badass. You know what? You know what would be really cool?
What's that?
Is if we could get somehow, some way, shape, or form, we could get Ray Wally Hubbard on the show sometime.
I mean, maybe we can call him. Maybe he might show up. What if I yell down my hallway, "Hey, Ray!"
Huh? What? Huh?
Hey, it is.
What are you guys doing here?
Oh,
Hey, man.
In the flesh, in the Zoom.
Oh.
That's me.
Yeah. So we have a special guest tonight on Country Fuzz Radio, the one and only Ray Wally Hubbard. Where are you coming to us from tonight? You in Texas?
I'm in Wimberley, Texas. It's about 40 miles southeast of Austin. It's just kind of at the beginning of the hill country. So we've been down here for a while.
And what's the address there? We're so excited to have Ray on the show. I feel like the reason you're so popular now is because of us.
I believe so too. You know, when you, I would have to, give you credit for the career I've got going right now. I was dead in the water till I ran into you guys.
I remember coming back from Texas. We were going back and forth on there playing every weekend when we started the Cadillac band, and it was so funny because we got turned on to your music one night playing this writers round, and it was a midnight rodeo. I don't remember where it was. It may have been in Austin.
Yeah, Midnight Rodeo.
Yeah, and so Ray sits down, and me and Kelby and Neil are sitting there, and like Josh Abbott and Jack Ingram.
Oh yeah,
it's a benefit.
Somebody else.
Yeah.
It was a cool thing. It was one of our first things to do like that, and we had no idea who really anybody on the thing was. I knew Jack a little bit from when he had his record deal in Nashville, and we were told how great Ray Wally was. I was like, man, I can't wait, And he got up there. And he starts telling these bitchin' stories about anything, snakes and Texas and Les Paul guitars and all. And I mean, I was like, this guy's after our hearts, man. And so we came back after that week, and we just literally lit a fire under every country store we knew and told them how great this guy was. You've got a new record you just did with a bunch of friends and cool stuff.
Yeah,
Tell us about it.
It's called Bad Trick, which y'all are on it. I think y'all are going to, the single that y'all are going to do is probably in about 3-4 weeks, I think. Real quick, because after I met y'all and everything, y'all called me up and they said, y'all were doing this tour and y'all wanted me to open for you. And I looked at the tour and it was like, it started off like in Houston, Dallas, I think New Orleans, and then it went to like Detroit and Chicago, and it was February. And I said, well, I'll do Dallas and Houston and New Orleans.
I'll do the ones close to the house.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I do the low-hanging fruit tour. Yeah. But that was such a treat, man, playing with you guys. And God,
we did the rhyming together.
Yeah. And we did the rhyming. What a treat that was. So I'm probably where I am today because of you guys.
Whatever. Hey, tell us a little bit about this record and how you picked who all was on it, because there's some crazy huge rock stars on this record. How did you get their numbers? B, how did you come up with who to do it?
Well, it kind of started out like I just had this idea, just like I called you up and said, hey, man, you want to go in and track? And so we went in, and tracked this song. I had this song that I thought would be really good for you guys. And same thing with Aaron Lee Tatch. And I called him. I said, hey, man, you want to get track? And so it wasn't like a pre-planned album to do this. I just started tracking with musicians that I liked. And then the Bad Trick thing, I'd known Ringo for about 5 or 6 years. And I guess about a year and a half ago, Judy and I went out to Santa Fe to see the All-Stars. And he said, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm making this record with different bands. He said, well, if you need a drummer, let me know. And I thought he was just kind of being cordial and everything. So I wrote this song called Bad Trick with my wife, Judy. It's the first song we've ever written together. Cool. And then so I laid down a little track and sent it to Bruce Sugar, his engineer. And all of a sudden, then I got this thing, I guess about almost 8 or 9 months ago, said, if you can be in L.A. next Wednesday, I'll play drums on it. So I flew out there and Ringo played drums on the track. He said, who are you going to get to play bass? And I said, I don't know. And he said, how about Don Was? And I said, well, I don't know him. He said, well, I'll ask him. He said, who are you going to get to play guitar? And I said, I don't know. And he said, I'll ask my brother-in-law. So because of him, I got Joe and Don Was. Then, of course, I'd run into Chris off and on, and he just had that rock voice. So I called him up. Said, will you sing on it? He was in Europe, and so he did his vocal at some dressing room at some rock club in Dusseldorf. So it just all came together. Like I said, it wasn't planned. And then, like I said, then I had you guys on it and Pam Tillis, and it just all kind of
I just threw up in my mouth a little bit hearing that story, because it's like when one of the damn Beatles asks if you can be in LA on next Wednesday, you don't say no.
Yeah.
No.
If you need
You say, yes, sir. Yes, sir, Mr. Beatle. I will be there.
We did. And the thing with the video, it was about 2 months ago, right before all this thing happened. I got a text. He said, if you can come out here, it was another Wednesday. He said, we'll shoot a video. So I flew out there and Brent Carpenter, who does all his video work. We went up to his house and shot the little video. And then Brent put together the video with Joe. If you really look closely on the video, he's not playing Bad Trick. That's just video that Brent Carpenter had of Joe.
Amazing.
They put it in there, and then Chris, did his on a phone, and I think Don Was did his at his studio. Man. So it just all came together. Sometimes I feel like Forrest Gump. I'm just this kind of guy and run into these people and amazing things happen.
Well, I tell you,
that's
buddy,
awesome.
As far as that story goes, legends don't play on people's records that aren't legends. So you, buddy, in our eyes, are right up there with those dudes. So we're so excited to have you tonight. Let's jump into some of our your famous friends and listen to some of our favorites. This first one is such a rock and roll, just staple. I remember we opened for this guy in Little Rock at the Riverfront and watched his show and was just blown away. And we actually did a cover of this song with Dierks Bentley at one point for his tour or something like that.
Yeah, Seven Peaks Festival. Yeah, that's right, we did. Yeah.
So anyways, I remember watching him and just being completely blown away. He's in a little band who never really did anything called the Eagles. And he's just one of the coolest people. It seems like he'd be one of those people you want to be friends with. I would, you know what I mean?
He's just a great cat. He's just really gracious, and he's fun, and he's a stand-up guy.
Well, hell yeah. Well, here's Joe Walsh with Rocky Mountain Way.